Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. It's another Finow day. We're going to look at something interesting that they're calling a Watch 6 underneath the Finow logo. And one thing for sure, Finow does a fun and interesting job of packaging all of their watches differently. This one, check it out, look at that. Are we talking fun? Yeah, I'm sensing a kid's toy fun play little watch here. Or it could be an adult as well. When we open the box with the little stick-on image of a watch, we get a watch, we get a box that looks like it's got a band in it, and more. But first, let's tell you about it. From the official AliExpress store for Finow, they're calling this one the i8 Pro, also known as a PKW56. You can see by all the little icons here that you can get it with a variety of different bands and colors and configurations. So use the show note link and head on over to AliExpress. It'll take you to this page and check out all the different options ranging from roughly $60 to $65 for this one. It's got rotating knob, which means it's going to control what you see on the screen, 44mm replacement straps available, and it supports Bluetooth calling with GPS and wireless charging. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Let's take a quicker look at all of the specs. We won't spend long because we generally just dive into the watches to take a look at it. We've got, like it says, Bluetooth calling and wireless charging, GPS sports watch, and no SIM card in it because it's Bluetooth calling. We've got a little bit of memory, step count, fitness tracker, sleep tracking, dial calling, remote control, push messaging, 24-hour alarm clocks, all kinds of functions. Wow, they list each of the languages individually here as well. It's called Life Waterproof, which basically means you can probably get it splashed, but don't get underwater. 220 to 300 milliamp hour battery. And it's using a MTK2503 processor, square watch, alloy case, silica gel, adults, detachable band, and battery, they say, is detachable. Well, I think they mean the charger unit for that. Let's dive deeper. We can take this off and see that the watch module is sitting in here. I can take off the cover from the back, which is protecting what looks like electrodes as well as the optical sensors and diodes for doing things like heart rate, no doubt. We've got a little plastic cover over it, and there's a screen protector on it, if you can see the reflection. Sliding in bands here, microphone, power button, rotating knob, speakers on this side. Looks like it got just about everything. Here we have a manual in Chinese, and hopefully on this side we have it in English. All right, well, it's laid out really interesting, so I'm going to show it to you on the screen. Can you see that? Kind of tiny writing, but I think if you freeze frame it, blow it up on your big 4K TV, you'll be able to read it. I hope so. More information about it. It's generally the standard stuff. There's the QR code right there that you use to download the app that you're going to tether to. And more information. Looks like you can put your own picture watch on it as well. And I think that's it. So let's take a look at the bands inside the box. We've got, whoa, these are fancy. This comes with a TPU type of a black band for sporting. And look at this one. Velcro. Wrap around. Oh, I'm going to put this one on it. We'll play with that. Now, there should be still a charger hiding in here. And there it is. And, yep, indeed, it's a USB connector with a completely wireless charger. So we are talking a watch that can do Bluetooth calling, has onboard GPS, wireless charging, and really cool bands. I think we need to see how it works. Wow, well check this out. Look at that nice band on here. Full Velcro. I love this. It just slides right through. You can take it out, adjust it to wherever you like, tap it down. Boom, there you go. So, as in all of these watches that have the lower pillbox button, we press it to turn it on. It's coming up saying Smartwatch, giving us an animation. And in a second or two, we're into our first watch face. These guys love Nike. I don't know. They've got a lot of faces on here for that. It's connecting now to the phone. The phone's using the Le Fun Wear app, and it's also connecting in Bluetooth for the phone calling and activation of the OK trigger word for Google, all those kind of things in it. Let's begin. Let's take a look. When we slide down, notifications, if we have any push, they would show up here. Of course, you got to be tethered to your phone to do that. And if I slide up, I get into all kinds of controls. There's Wi-Fi connected. This will take me right into my exercise. This is GPS, actually, and battery level, and it flashes until it's connected. Here's the vibration, another representation of the overall battery. The sound off and on, that was muted. And here's your Do Not Disturb that you can activate and deactivate. So we don't want it in Do Not Disturb, and we want the audio on. Now we're getting to some weird ones. I don't know what the heck. Have you ever seen that one? The happy face, frowning face? I don't know. This one, a little water drop. What does it say? Rotate the digital crown to unlock and drain. Okay. There, I just drained something. My guess, and this is just a guess, would be that it's like the Apple Watch that has the ability to drain water out of the speakers. But is this waterproof? I don't think so. It just talks about life waterproof. Those two, I don't know. The flashlight I've seen before. That makes a nice bright light, so outside at night you can see your keys, keyhole, whatever. Here's your music player, and it'll play Bluetooth music if you're connected. I've got CBS News going, latest news. Let's turn the volume up, and it should be playing now. How about if I switch to another one? Nope, that's the one that's playing. I can't really hear it that much. And there's no indication of how loud the volume is. But it does indicate that it's playing, so not too sure about that. This is where you change the different ways that your apps show up. You can have a list mode, the cellular main menu, or 9-app screen menu. We're going to go list for now, but remind me and I'll come back and show you that. And then here you can take a quick heart rate. As soon as you touch it, it starts doing it. It actually does have a real chart here for all of these, blood pressure, blood oxygen, and it's doing a heart rate measurement now that should put a little red dot on there, matching my level between here and here. I'm at 88, and it's really hard to see, but there's a little dot right above my fingernail. I'll cut them. I will. I know. I get all kinds of comments here, guys. You would not believe it. I did one video once where I cut my nails in between them, and I put them backwards, and so all of a sudden my short nail cut into a long nail thing, and they went, "How did you grow your nails so fast?" Yeah, it's wonderful to be a blogger on the internet. Never a dull moment. So those are all of the things you get when you swipe up. And notifications are what you got when you swipe down. And you always got to go back that way. You can't slide up that way. When I come over here, I'm getting all of my apps. And when I come over here, I'm getting all of my apps. And so it's both the same way, either way you go. Physical training now, these are the different workouts. And again, they're GPS focused. So I can do outdoor walking and running. and cycling, and all of those will trigger to activate GPS in this tiny little platform. Yeah, and it does work. It takes a little while the first time to kick in. After that, it does pretty good. You've got your indoor cycling and running and stuff. By the way, back on the GPS, I haven't found a way that I can actually see my track either on the watch as a small little representation or on the app itself. When you tap the dots, you'll get all of the activities that you've done, no matter what they are. Here was a little walk, and here was a cycling. I got almost 6 miles in 25 minutes. Here is average speed, and then delete. You have these 3 screens, but nothing about your overall track, and it's not showing up in the app either. So that's a thing, but it is able to calculate accurate distance based on GPS, as opposed to not for cycling. I mean, you can't rely on pedometer. You really do need the GPS for that. Phone book and calls and Bluetooth messaging and call logs, all that is related to the phone calling aspect, which I'm not going to go into detailed demoing in this unboxing video. But when you set it up to make a call, all that would work there. Speakers are on that side. Microphone is over here between the knobs, and that all works. Sleep. Your last night's sleep time total, deep and light, is shown here. You've got your sedentary reminders and alarms if you want to set those. Camera is a remote camera trigger, Bluetooth connected to your phone. There's no camera on the watch. Your overall Bluetooth connection and music. And look at this, Facebook is even on here. Don't use it, so I don't know how it works, but it's present. Then you got heart rate, blood pressure, and blood oxygen. And just to show you, for example, going into blood oxygen now, I get the same kind of display that I had on heart rate, but it's going to do blood oxygen instead. And it's using red diodes with green diodes, which is awesome. Red diodes with the infrared is supposed to be higher accuracy overall. So I'm coming up with 99, and there should be a dot in here somewhere related to the time of day that would give me that level. I got a calendar that's a basic calendar of the day of the week and overall, but you can't put anything in it. Stopwatch, lost alert. We've got a calculator, and it works. And oh yeah, you look at that. You can change things. I like to do division because then I get multiple decimal points to show you guys. So calculator works. You find your phone and you tap that and hit start. Makes a sound coming from the phone. So basic stuff. Your overall weather, giving it to you in Fahrenheit, high and low, I guess, and what your forecast is, and my fingers covering the exact location information. You have the tethering app, and look at this, a thermometer built in it. Now this is rare. We usually don't see all of the other things like heart rate, start measuring heart rate and blood pressure and blood oxygen, and have a thermometer, but this one does. However, in the watch, it's only showing in centigrade. But I think you're going to find in the app we can have Fahrenheit, which is nice. Okay, it just vibrated, and that's the history update for the thermometer. Overall settings, sound is all set to 6, just because I happen to touch it. That takes me all the way back. Anyway, clock, your sound and volume levels, menu changing. That's what we wanted to show you too. Let's go ahead and do that. That was the list menu. If I go back this way and come over here, now I've got your typical Apple layout with the turn of the dial. And if we get out of here, you can't get out of here. Okay, I got to find settings again. Where's my little settings icon? There it is. Menu change. I could go into the 9 app display layout, which looks like this. So, it goes sideways. So you have all these different ways of displaying your apps as well, which is pretty cool. So back into settings, personal is where you set up your gender, height, weight, date of birth, all of that, which you can also do from the app, and most of the time we do that. And then international stuff. Your display is where you set your timeout up to 60 seconds and the overall brightness. And of course, you can adjust your units, reset it, and get about the watch as well. So let's take a look at the integrated app. Oh, you want to see some of the watch faces? Okay. We can page through those. We got Mickey, but he's not animated. Interesting, huh? You got different Finow watches that have more animation in them. Is the butterfly animated? Real sensitive. Okay, there. That one's doing its thing. Bunches and bunches of faces available in here. Large digital, but very, very sensitive. And of course, you can press and hold and slide through them this way if you want to. That's a lot easier to pick whichever one you want, hit OK, and you're there. But you can just change them on a fly just by twirling the knob. So that's fun. All right, now the app. Les Fun Wear is what we're going to install. I've got it in here already. I've got some step data for the day in feet. Look at that. Distance traveled in feet, not just kilometers or miles, until you get to a high enough distance, I guess, and it'll switch. Total number of steps, calories burned, your basic information here, including I've got blood oxygen, heart rate, temperature, and blood pressure. So a summary page starts here with today's date. I can slide over here now and start to see the development of my actual step count for the day. I can come over here to my sleep time. Now, I didn't wear this one last night. I wore it the night before, so I'm going to change back a day. And here you go, my sober time, my drunk time, and my stupor time. No. This is a family channel. We're always sober. Sometimes we're more awake than others, right? That's supposedly awake time. Light sleep and deep sleep are shown with a pie chart, which is kind of fun. And then here, we're back to today, where I did heart rate. Now, each of these can also be activated remotely from the app. And I talk about that a lot as a good thing for an app because if you have somebody in the household that you have wearing the watch and you want to check on them if they're sick, for example, and see how their heart rate is doing and temperature in this one as well, it's as simple as just hitting start, letting it count down. And the watch did vibrate, so whoever's wearing it would know that they're being examined, or if you're just doing yourself, it doesn't matter. But there was a vibration when it started. We wait for just a little bit, and when it's finished, which shouldn't be too long for heart rate, usually blood oxygen is the fastest, heart rate second, and blood pressure takes longer. And likewise with blood pressure, you want to stay really still. It vibrated again, and it just gave me my heart rate. But I don't see it on the watch, only on the app. Same thing happens here for your blood pressure and blood oxygen. You get a reading over here as well. Now, the fun part is temperature. I can come over here. It vibrated. Like I said, it's going to show us in Fahrenheit. It dims down a little bit because it's got this overlay on top of it saying waiting, but once that goes away, it'll brighten back up again. Because the screen's so dark, it's hard for me to find a place without reflections and shadows. Here we go. 96.8 Fahrenheit is my current reading of temperature. So all of those four main factors with sleep time and distance travel are all represented here on the main screen. Very good app for that. However, when you get into sports, the map isn't working, like I mentioned, for GPS, but I do have data that's accumulated here, and these are the kind of things that it shows you. It's not giving us altitude, at least from my test with the GPS, but it does have GPS in here, and there aren't any other ones, although you can change from here to your walking and running and other kinds of things. It's not really switching, but I only have the one so far for riding. When I come over to trend now, this one for yesterday, I've got a lot of trends, so it fills it in, I guess, the next day. This is a step count trend throughout the day when it accumulated it, as well as mileage and calories burned. The overall sleep time is there, the heart rate, blood pressure, and that's it. I'm not getting blood oxygen or temperature, but I am getting those elements here in a trend summary. Finally, my data, which is your personal data, where you put in your information specifically. You put in your device information. No buttons and switches to set for anything in here like you normally see. Your overall step target is here, and about, just basically that we're using version 1.99 of Le Fun Wear. Hopefully they'll upgrade to 2.0 and fix a few of the things that we'd like to see differently on it. All right, that's about it for this one. It's another Finow Apple lookalike kind of a watch. This one, stake to claim, is GPS. That's the big thing going with this one. It's known as the i8 Pro. Rotating knob works. It's Bluetooth calling, replaceable straps, wireless charging. Like on all the other ones, you can come in here with the link in the show notes to take you over to the buying page, pick out the color, the combination with bands that you would like to order, check and see if I've got a coupon, and if I do, apply that coupon when you check out and pick yourself up a really nice Apple-looking GPS-incorporated sports fitness watch. There you go. Thanks for watching, gang, and we'll see you again soon.